All right, this is about the Facebook mental health joke. I'm going to read something here, and it's all bullshit. It says North Carolina Health News when mental health moves to Facebook. North Carolina Health News. It's got a post from Francesca Pooley, who is an admin. She writes, unfortunately, this is not a responsibility the admin slash moderator team can take on. Generally, whenever a member is posted that has raised concern, one of the team has picked up on it and has reached out by private message. Not true. That is not true. They don't reach out to you. They got a generalized message, an electronic response. And in addition to that electronic response includes a 30-day ban from using your Facebook. When people were bullying me to the point that I was suicidal and I screamed out for help on Facebook, do you know how that feels? You're reaching out for help that you desperately need, and now they have cut you off entirely from getting that help from any of those people. And they want you to call Suicide Hotline. Suicide Hotline will not do anything about abuse. I know. I've called. I've recorded those calls and I have put them on here. They'll give you the numbers to somebody else who will tell you it's not their job and give you the number for someone else who will tell you it's not their job. When I needed help, I was cut off from it. And Facebook has done everything that they can to make sure that we can't actually communicate with a member of their admin team. Facebook could have done something a long time ago about the threats, harassment, and abuse on Facebook, but they did nothing. Meanwhile, much of that stuff is evidence. If I complain about it, Facebook removes that evidence. They destroy that evidence. She typed, but as we are all from different parts of the world and there are nearly 10,000 members in the group, there is no way we could guarantee picking up on every concerning post or say with certainty that we are putting suicidal members in touch with the correct authorities to access the help they need. Well, cutting them off from their loved ones and their friends is probably not a good fucking start. You tell me to call 911. Almost all of these places tell me to call 911. I can't. The cops in this town are some of my abusers. They have investigations without talking to the victim or collecting evidence. How is that an investigation? And I'm not talking about Facebook. I'm talking about the authorities that they send you to. It says we try our best. And one of the mod team has pinned an announcement on the group with suicide prevention and mental health contacts. Yay. If you guys have heard the conversations with me and my or their mental health contacts, if you guys have ever gone through that, they know you know that they give you the option of getting a hold of one of your friends, but you don't get to do that because they blocked you. So that option is there, but it's not actually there. It doesn't actually exist. You can't reach out to any of those people because you are blocked, because you reached out for help. Meanwhile, it's not a person going through it, it's an algorithm. There is so much evidence of the abuse that I have gone through in these Facebook groups and on Facebook. But Facebook doesn't feel any responsibility for it. I've tried to contact them for years. It says, there's not much more we can do. The best way to prevent concerning posts slipping through the net is if all members look out for one another and report to us so we can follow up on the member. You mean so that you can block them and prevent them from getting help? Facebook isn't going to fucking help you without friends and family actually in your corner. That is what it takes. When you're abused, what, you're supposed to go to somebody and pay them a bunch of money to whine at them? Meanwhile, these are mandated reporters. But what did these mandated reporters do? I told Nicole Jarrell about the abuse. She's a mandated reporter. She did nothing. I told Jeff Ritter about the abuse. He's a mandated reporter. He did nothing. These are therapists. I told Kara Heller about the abuse. She did nothing. I told Nicole Peralta about the abuse. She did nothing. These are all mandated reporters. Nurses are mandated reporters as well. That includes Kimberly Jepson and Terry Jepson. These are both mandated reporters. Same thing with the hospital staff on the 5th floor of the Scottsbluff Hospital, where I was sent when I tried to turn in my predators. I was literally taken there by my predators, the exact predators I was trying to turn in. Because when someone is suicidal over abuse, you don't do anything about the abusers. You punish the person who is being abused. Facebook doesn't care. Says related images. This one's from Mark Zuckerberg. Here's a good use of AI. Helping prevent suicide. AI, that's the problem. It's not a person. It's a fucking computer that takes you round and round and round she goes, and where she stops, never. You never get to talk to an actual human being. Facebook doesn't have actual human beings to address this. They want to send you to places that tell you they can't help, they can't help, they can't help. How is that help? It says, with the fear about how AI may be harmful in the future, it's harmful today. When I posted up the conversation between me and Natalie Bollinger so I could show the truth, Facebook's fucked up AI didn't post them in order. It scattered them all over. Not my fault. I selected them in order. Their AI cutting me off from talking to my loved ones, and then it gives me the option to try to talk to my loved ones that they have literally just cut me off from. because I'm trying to get help. Y'all want to say, well, you shouldn't have done all that crazy shit. You're right. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have had to. I am disabled. I cannot defend myself. If I am abused, I'm not heard, because the term mentally ill discredits you automatically. Automatically, anyone can say anything about you, and it is automatically taken as true. You are not allowed to speak up on your own behalf. You are not allowed to defend yourself in court. You are not allowed to show evidence. And that is why, since before Natalie Bollinger was ever killed, I have been trying to get help. Facebook's AI has done nothing but make it worse. So, Mark Zuckerberg, I've got nothing nice to say to you. When I needed help the most, your AI algorithms cut me off. Maybe, Mr. Zuckerberg, you should look into some of those supposed Natalie Bollinger groups. Go through and unlock all of the things that people destroyed and erased after the fact. Look at the cruelty and the bullying and the threats against my life that I have been trying to turn in to get help stopping it. But if I turn it into Facebook, they destroy the evidence. It needs to go to the cops, and Facebook needs to help. They need to help the people whose lives are destroyed by their AI. The people who are cut off from the help that they need by your AI because they tried to get help, because they told the truth. It wasn't just one thing that did this. If that hadn't been for the complacency and the non-give a shit of everyone that I went to before Natalie died, none of this would have happened. If just one person had actually given a shit in that entire goddamn year before Natalie was killed, someone to do something other than what Terry Jepsen did, or Kim Jepsen, or Brandon Jepsen. Somebody to actually care, not someone to tell me they love me and show that they don't. If you loved me, you would not allow these things to happen to me. You would not look the other way, especially not for years. Terry wants our conversations off of YouTube, but they show the truth. Mandy Hughes wants it off of YouTube, but it shows the truth. It shows how they treated me. And like I said, Terry's been the nicest one about it. Facebook's algorithms and AI are a joke. a joke. Mental health in this country is a joke too. It's victimization for profit. Here's some pills, here's some pills, here's some pills. You got raped by your dad and now you're suicidal, here's some fucking pills.